And, there are the Dak riders and the Dak haters, and I, call me a Dak rider because, for this game anyways, because early in the game, the Cowboys had a really crappy start to the game offensively. They scored 2 field goals and punted. This is how their drives went, not just the scoring drives. Field goal, great, good to start with a score. We don't often do that, so that was nice. But after that, they went for a punt, a fumble, another field goal, and then an interception. So 2 field goals and 2 turnovers, basically, which, not a really good way to start the game. And I think everyone was maybe, if you are a rider or a hater, if you're a hater, you were loving it. And if you're a rider, you're kind of like, oh, man, what's going on here? Things are going to get bad. But the Cowboys did turn it around in the second half of the game. After a blocked field goal early on in the third, Dak went down on the next drive, scored a touchdown. I believe that was the one to Rico Dowdle.
Rico.
Yeah, to Rico Dowdle, 22-yard, nice pass to Dowdle. And then right after that, goes ahead and throws that terrible interception to CeeDee Lamb. And there was some controversy with that. After that play, CeeDee Lamb, was talking to Dak on the sideline. Some people were saying, oh, CeeDee Lamb is chewing into him. But when you slow it down, you can see that I basically said, like, jump ball for.
Yeah, jump ball for. I got you.
Put it up there. Trust me. And this is what I love about Dak Prescott is, there was nothing really going right for him this game, sans that touchdown. And on the last drive of the game that really meant it for them boys, he goes down there, makes a couple huge plays. We mentioned to Hunter Lepke, and then also that awesome dart on, 4th and 1 or 2 or something like that to Tolbert to seal the game there. Well, not necessarily seal it, but basically put it in almost out of reach for the Steelers, who fumbled the ball, and that was it. That was all she wrote. So just to recap, what I loved about Dak Prescott is he took that adversity. He didn't crumble. And on the play that mattered the most, or the drive that mattered the most, he went down there and did what we all expect him to do. Whether you win by 30 or you win by 3 in the final drive of of the game, it doesn't matter. You get the same amount of points, and we can, stamp this with a big George W.
Big George W.
Move on.
Big boost, George W. And the best play that Dak might have had the whole drive, that game-winning drive, was jumping on the grenade.
Yeah.
Jumping on that Rico Dowdle fumble, man. A lot of the times your quarterback's not going to get the chance to jump on that ball. And when Rico Dowdle got blown up, Madden style, trying to dive into the end zone for the game-winning touchdown, your boy number 4 didn't hesitate. He jumped on that thing because he knew it was do or die. And that play was just such a roller coaster to go from essentially 2nd and half a yard to 3rd and 4 was just a whirlwind to almost having the game taken right then and there. So I think that, to me, was Dak Prescott's best play. And then he follows it up with that bullet to Tolbert to get the go-ahead touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the last 2 minutes of the game, I think it was, 6 out of the 7 plays were all passing plays. So it was in Dak Prescott's hand there. And then the one play that wasn't a passing play was the handoff to Rico Dowdle, who fumbled it, who then Dak made that recovery. So Dak Prescott showed up. I think Dak's biggest problem that everyone criticizes him for is that in big moments he doesn't show up, and he absolutely showed up in this last game-winning drive. You can see it right here.
Yeah, and who was Ray J yelling at for not jumping on the football with the other fumble? Remember? Anyway,
I can't remember.
Aubrey.
Yeah, Aubrey.
Block kick.
Yeah.
You called him European.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Ray J called him European. But look at Dak, man.
Like, look at how he dies for that.
He went for it, man. He has that 1 second where he's like, "Oh, ball's
shit.
on the ground."
Boosh.
Like,
No question.
If that ball goes anywhere else, man.
Yeah,
But he's
dropped right down in front of him.
He's doing what you're taught as a QB. He's tracking that ball the whole way, right? And because he saw it popped out there, you have no time to think. He didn't Cam Newton it and not jump on that ball.
Yeah,
he went for
Cam
it.
Newton and that was in the Super Bowl when Cam Newton didn't jump on the ball.
I think Dak for sure needed a game like this, where
So did we.
we needed a game like this. Dak needed a
We
game
needed
like
a
this.
gritty win, man. We needed a gritty win. The Cowboys, especially since the Can Fan era, the Cowboys lose this game.
Yep.
The Cowboys lose this game, man. This gritty game where they were leading, but just because of field goals, they lost the turnover battle. The weather was shitty. They're playing against a team that they don't play against very often. Like, this was the recipe for the Cowboys to lose. And they battled back and won.
Man, we're winning against winning teams. We're winning on the road. Like, those are two things that if you told me last year, would you like those? And I'd be like, yes, please.
Hey, well, even the Giants wins looking a little bit better now that they beat Seattle.
Absolutely.
Like the Giants beat Seattle in Seattle.
Yep. With huge fashion too. I mean that could have, as Chris was saying yesterday, that loss to the Seattle could help us in the playoffs.
Right.
The loss to Seattle.
The Seattle loss.
Seattle's loss to the Giants could help us for seeding in the playoffs.
The loss to the loss to Seattle meant more than a loss to New York for the Cowboys. And and after he explained it, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Because I was just like, what are you talking about? Division.
Yeah.
But yeah. I do have
unless the Giants end up being good.
Right. Well, this is I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this is the closest I felt to Giants. I'll give them a little bit more, but adding Washington to the mix here for the NFC Beast, this is it feels like the most wide. Like, I'm not super confident the Cowboys are slotted in at least a wild card spot now because of
maybe there's three teams from the.
Well, that's
could be
true.
The three teams from the NFC East, and this is by far, since CanFan's been in existence, this is the most competitive the NFC East has been, for sure.